test indeed. What's up, Maximus? Let's see. All right. Oh, how you doing today? I think we're doing card art today. All right, yeah, I mean the test worked, so we're good there. Because blank cards are sad. Yep. Just trying to continue my trend of silly stream titles. Is Twitch not working? Hold on. No, it is. Okay, we're good. But yeah, I guess a few thoughts before we start on art, just because it's always good to just like to get these thoughts out there. Or is Twitch working? It is. I see it. It is indeed. But yeah, I thought more about the deck building. I think it's perfectly good idea. I don't think it's gonna be like fully implemented into the game. It'll probably go into like the like rule section at the very end, like the work in progress rule set, until we can like figure it out completely. But let me see here. Where's the rule book? Is it this one? Yeah. So it'll just, all that will just kind of go at the end here. I think it will be the thing. I think the idea of just keeping it the same proportions, just using it. Does this crash on me? It literally crashed. Okay, there we go. We're good. Maybe. Nope, still crashing. Gotta love it. Well, the program's dead because of some sort of AI assistant thing it says here. Can you just close? Okay. Or, all right, whatever. Anyway, that part, I think the proportions are fine, and then just making it so the deck size scales. My only thing with that is I kind of like the entire base deck to be the same proportions as what I'm proposing here. Right now, they're pretty dang close, but they're slightly off. And then that way, like, if you want to just jump into a game with the full deck, you can. But if you want to, like, do any sort of deck building or you know, sort of draft mode or something like that, then you can just jump in, right? I think that would be ideal. So basically you want deck building to be taking half of every card type, more or less. Yeah. And honestly, it could be spells excluded as always. I mean, sort of. So basically, I mean, spells technically would be included. Because yeah, the current idea is like the number of cards is scalable. Like, so deck building would be scalable. If you wanted to play, sorry, I'm trying to find the page I need to be on. If you wanted to play with, you know, 5 cards, you know, you could. I don't think it'd be very fun, but I think it's interesting to have a sort of scalable model. You want to play with 10, you want to play with 5,000 cards. Yeah, exactly. That will be helpful for when we get to the digital version as well, right? Because early battles, if we do like a, again, Slay the Spire sort of style thing and you gain cards as you go, early battles might start with, you know, 5 cards or something. Granted, again, I don't know if that's fun, so maybe it would start with like 10 or 20 or 15, I don't know. But having it scalable in that way, that could be interesting, I think. And then, you know, the old god would have, you know, basically just double your cards. All that said, I think making the proportions completely correct here would be a good idea. So, like, right now there's 20 heroes, there's, like, 18 lands, 10 structures, and 10 spells. It's a little weird with lands, because lands, there's 3 of each. So getting a divisible number. 2 lands, but then you need to add 2 heroes as well, right? Yeah. Or add a bunch of lands to the point where it's only 2 of each type of land, right? Instead of 3 of each type. We should be, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can just say every number of each type of card again. Can you... Oh, sorry. Yeah. 20 heroes. There are 18 lands, 10 structures, and 10 spells. The simplest way to do it, probably... Well... There's a few different ways to do it. Either you do 24 heroes and 24 lands, right? And then add 2 structures and 1 spell. That's probably like the most even way to do it without having to like mess anything up. Or you could remove a singular spell, say growth, and then add more land types, but then make them 2 of each. So you need 10 of each type of land instead of what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lands. If you want 3 of each land, you need 2 new lands, 3 new hero types, and 3 new structures and spell types. Yeah, exactly. So, I'm not sure yet, right? So you can keep 3 of each land and 2 of each hero, 1 of each structure, 1 of each spell thing. Yeah, exactly. So the proportions, yeah, I don't think it's too difficult. I mean, basically, I think the goal here is we can leave this as is right now, I think. It's not so far off that it really matters. But the idea, I think, is we keep an eye on, like, what are the best cards from beta? And, like, the ones that fill the most, like, the most used cards, right? Like, the ones that fill the niche the best. And then we insert these into the main, the prime game, right? And try to get that fleshed out. I don't know exactly which way I want to do it. Part of me is tempted to just remove a spell and add 4 lands and then just make them 2 of each instead of 3 of each. Because then you get at least more diversity in lands. But lands are one of the hardest things to come up with new ideas for. But it might just be more interesting to get like a base of 24 of each type of card instead. No. You need to develop 2 heroes and 3 land, 2 lands and 3 heroes will be fine. Yeah. No, for sure. I agree. And then like 2 of each spells. Yeah, it's 24. It'd be 24 heroes, 24 lands, 12 structures, 12 spells. Yeah, you don't even need to create that many structures. Which, I mean, we almost are there. Like, the beta almost already has those. Granted, I don't know if all these cards are... Like, River is cool, but I almost wonder if it's, like, good to have in base game, you know? I mean, I guess it's no different than, like, drawing, like, a forest without a structure, right? But River's gonna get better with deck building nudge. Yeah, no, it's true. But without it, it's kind of like, meh, right? Because I think it's a little bit of both. But I agree. I think that's probably the best way to do it. You're correct, as they say. Dalamus Correct Maximus is his full name. Yeah, I was trying to debate between the two. I mean, I'd rather... Yeah. I mean, the you know, 20 is a nice number, but 24 isn't really that bad of a number either, you know? How dare you dox me like that? Your true middle name. I've said your full name. I have uncovered your true power. Yeah, 24 is a good number. It's true. A 72 card deck total, which does mean, right? Is that right? What's the total now? 59. Sorry. Yeah, 59. But yeah, it'll be a 72 card deck, which is interesting because the old god should have double the number of cards. They're 64. Which is a little weird. We might need to add like another World Ender level thing. I don't want to put 2 copies of World Ender in there, but there might need to be some more stuff in there. Oh god. But yeah. 2 to the power of 2 times 5 is worse than 3 times 2 to the power of 3. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Yes, need to come up with some absolutely maniac ideas. Yeah, we'll definitely have to do more old god stuff. More things that attack land, you know. I don't know. I've thought of one that's like, you know, one that can attack everything. I think that would be kind of interesting. Deals 1 damage to everything, which I guess is technically a structure already, right? Well, not a structure. Maybe a structure that does that. Attacks land, my favorite. Yeah, maybe not like attacks everything, but like lowers stuff by 1 for everything. Because attacking means you could just kill like 20,000 cards at once. Or like attacks anything above 1. You get a lot of interesting, scary stuff. But yeah, adding more diversity in there. Potentially adding minion diversity. I could see having additional minion types. I don't know if that's like stage 1 of this, but I don't know if that's something we do right away. But that is something I think should be done at some point. It's kind of hard to design minions that aren't like, that don't just like break the game. Yeah, minion types are later stage ammo. Yep. The only one that I could really think of is one that just has high health but does nothing. A blobling. But I don't think I want it attacking structures or lands. Technically, that could be like a higher difficulty mode, but anyway. So yeah, that's my thought on that. I had a thought of like, this is kind of unrelated. Actually, it's, you know, very unrelated. I had a thought maybe that Osgathian Camp should be an ability instead of a unit effect, but because it's kind of weird that it's like you move everything to it and then you can move everything off of it or off of your heroes and then use all those units to reallocate them. Oh, that's just weird. It's maybe confusing to people, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know what an ability would be. You can't lose 10 units for that kind of thing. So high health but does nothing. You really want to give you want to buff Mr. Passive over here. I guess so. But yeah, I don't think that actually works the more I think about it. It was something I thought of before stream, and I'm like, maybe it doesn't work. So, but yeah, all random thoughts I had. I think making camp a unit cost is gonna make it much less useful initially, as it uses unit gain anyway. Yeah, you basically gain units from other heroes, and then if you lose 10 of those units, that just doesn't really work. So I think it's fine as is. There has to be card draw or something like this. Card can't attack until the end of your next turn. Yeah, I did think about that. Something we can start using now that we've kind of officially determined disabling is a type of effect. We can actually use that in abilities, right? Like disables a card or disables this card, that kind of thing. I think that's a an interesting idea, right? You can disable old god cards too. That's true. Yeah. Yo, Anonymous? It's like anonymous, but Adonym, I can't read. Anyway, I'm bad at English and words. Yo, I too am trying to make a card game. Good to see someone has the balls to live stream the process, though. Keep it up. Thank you. I appreciate it. Greetings, Mr. Moose. I can't read. Anyway, yeah, no, there's not a lot of people doing it. So hopefully that's maybe a niche market, but at the same time, yeah, it's lonely out here on the old card game design thing. But yeah, yeah, we're working on a co-op trading card game. Try to live stream 3 times a week, so yeah, I'd love to hear about your game. I think it's an untapped market, right? Needs to be more people doing it. Yeah, these are some of the cards. I'm gonna be doing card art, but we're just discussing a few little things before we get started. Also, you underestimate the unhingedness of my insane ideas with disabling cards. I know your insane ideas. I know that they are insane. I'm ready for it, though. I'm trying to think if we want to just jump right into... I need to get rid of this. I don't need these anymore if they're done. I just need to clean this out because it is just... ruining me here. But yeah, I'm trying to think if we should have another round of like talking about card ideas, or if we want to just keep drawing. I probably should just keep drawing. We could talk about more ideas, but a lot of these like ideas that we come up with aren't actually as good as we thought they were without some reworking, right? Like Spellblade, we're like, oh yeah, that'll be really cool, and then it just didn't work. So now it's just different. Oh, there was something I noticed that needed a visual update. Yes. Embassy should say, or should have the unit icon. Also, wait, hold on. Also, it's just formatted incorrectly. UNTS, or just UNT, sorry. Okay. Into the church. Yeah, okay. Cool. Beautiful. And then this finally updated. I'll have to like actually publish it, but okay, if we're going with the idea that all these beta cards are going to be part of the deck building sort of thing, let's just figure out what we actually need, right? And I guess we can like swap in and out different cards, but when needed. Like I'm kind of unsure about Stone Golem, even though I don't know, I guess they're pretty good. Their inability to attack like is maybe a little bit much, but we'll see. Let's see here. Okay, so we said we needed 2 new heroes. Sorry. Gum can be good, but it's situational. Yeah, for sure. I guess it's better now with the whole card playing rule. I'm gonna have to play around with it. Kind of a lot because of monsters don't do big sweeping attacks. Taking half damage isn't that useful as it seems. Like biggest is 7, true, and that attack's weakest. It almost might need like I feel like it might need a different base effect, honestly. I feel like this base effect might be better on a different card. And it might need like something more something that works a little bit better. We'll have to play around with it. I think there's it's too soon to say anything, but yeah. Actually, no, yeah, we only need 2 more heroes, 2 more lands, two more structures, and 1 more spell, which we already have. We have 3 new heroes, so we can just put 2 of them in. We have 2 lands, we have 2 structures, we just need a spell. Right? Because, like, it would be... You need 3 heroes? No? Well, so there's 20 heroes total. We would need 24, right? So you'd only need 2 new heroes, which would be 4 total copies of cards. Right? Am I doing my math wrong? And it should be 24 total, right? for both. It just needs to be a number divisible by both 3 and 2. But 3 heroes, 2 copies each. A piece, that's 26 heroes. We only need 24. Right? 24 is divisible. Math. Oh, wait. Yeah. I think I'm right. Because 12 heroes times 2 is 24. Oh god, I'm gonna... Yeah, you're thinking 20 to blow me up. Yeah, 24, not 26, right? So yeah, I mean, we're almost there already. We just need, literally just need one more spell. Granted, I don't think necessarily all the beta cards are like great base game cards, to be fair. But maybe they're some of the cards that go in there. I'm not gonna try to explain myself, sound even dumber. You're good, dude. It's a little confusing, especially if you don't have like all the numbers at your disposal right in front of you. Can't words, jeez. Like I'm not sure about these structures, especially church. So we might have to work on that, but thanks for thanks for stuttering 5 times. Yeah, I'm just trying to make you feel better, man. Especially because everything has an ability. So we'll see. Anyway, that being said, we need a spell. And probably before this is all done, we'll have more cards than we need. I'm a big proponent of I kind of like the idea of having just a dispel card that just nullifies curses, especially with what's it called? Wrath just kind of hanging out. I kind of like the idea of countering it. Really don't like the dispel, like the dispel spell. The only reason I like feel like it's necessary is because there's no way to counter Wrath right now. It just sits there and it waits for a bad guy to show up, and then if it's World Ender, you're screwed. That's my like only problem with it. And maybe that's just more of a Wrath thing. There's no way to counter any spells. Yeah, I mean, yeah, currently. I don't know. I think Dispel would be decent. Of course, it would have some sort of cost, right? That's the thing, they're uncounterable damage. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Although usually they're not supposed to be straight up damage. A lot of the ones that just like do something, they're kind of more like game state alterers. Also, Dispel will be dead until you get a spell from Old God's Side. That's true. Yeah, I guess it would kind of feel like growth, right? Damages and player gets negative shenanigans. Yeah, that's true. Let's just add growth, but with triggered effects. That's one of my notes here. I'm sure you'd love that. No. Arcane Barrier is kind of cool. Where basically acts as a hero structure or land, has 1 to 6 units on it, cannot be removed. Or the units can't be removed from it. Divination's decent. Show the next 3 to 5 cards of the Old God. Why do we say that? Yeah, assuming the Old God spell is even worth countering. Yeah. This one's Suggestion / Hypnotic Melody, depending on what we want to actually say or be called. Allows you to choose the target of the monster and minions this turn. Targets. That's really, really powerful. Maybe too powerful. We've got counteroffensive, gives units equal to the number of minions on the board. You may place the units wherever you like. Maybe. Remove death effects, trigger one instantly. Removes a death effect or triggers one instantly. That's kind of fun. Or make a card untargetable. It's also interesting. I feel like Dispel has a place, but maybe that's not in the base game. I don't know. It's really hard to like balance that feeling of like just pure dread of like praying and hoping that you're not going to die from the from the next thing. Okay, then what does Dispel's cost? That's a good question, right? I mean, we could all it could be a lot of things, right? It could disable cards and that kind of thing. It can't be units. Some spells do units. Can't be cards. Some spells do cards. Then what? Disabling, I mean, is a decent option, right? Like, disabling your god's effect is like a really detrimental thing, but potentially worth saving your cards over. Can't be disable your cards because of the direct positive against the yellow Desolation, yeah. If it's disabling God, then it's only good against 2 to 3 spells. And any other spells are a dead card. Yeah, let me see. What are we working against, right? That is a good question. Yeah, I guess the bigger worry is it being a dead spell in your hand, I guess, for me, than anything else. You know, now that you bring that up. Because some people hate this card, you know? Because this card arguably can be a dead card in your hand, but also could be good with deck building. That's part of it. I'm looking at the wrong thing. My music too loud? It just seems louder on my end, I guess. Yeah, I guess wouldn't be worth it on Demoralize. Would be worth it on Desolation. This is very situational, but probably not worth it. Although you would be losing the card anyway, so it's like interesting. Surprise Ambush could be worth it, but sometimes Surprise Ambush is just kind of a nothing card. Not worth it. All players remove 10 units of their choice from... That could be worth it, but probably not, because you're just moving them. Yeah, I guess I see your point. Wrath is maybe the only thing. Which may be just a Wrath problem and not a whatever problem, right? But yeah, I mean, spells are supposed to just be, or sorry, curses rather, are supposed to just be kind of shitty things you just can't do anything about, right? I do honestly like stuff like Nefarious Swap, where it's just kind of like it does a thing that's not necessarily bad, but kind of just like changes the game, right? I think that is kind of interesting. But yeah, I guess I see your point. It would just end up feeling like growth, right? Where growth just kind of sits in your hand until you have like a unit effect that you want to use it on. I think growth is underutilized because it does affect both players, but yeah, I get your point. I see what you're saying. Really, the only reason I want to dispel is for Wrath. And then maybe in that case, like the better thing. Okay, I'm a little over harsh on growth. Yeah, I get that. But it is also a situationally good one, right? Yeah, it can be a really dead card too. Yeah. Growth could potentially be something that's moved to the beta and replaced by another card, but... And so can Dispel, yeah. They're good in deck building is kind of where I'm at, but potentially the thing to do is, until we have more cards, have stuff that's situationally good, not in the base game. Yeah, there's deck building, but deck building is only really gonna be fun when there's lots of cards. We say there's deck building. What deck uses Dispel? Probably a deck white-blue control. Blue-white control, whatever. Honestly, I feel like your play style, right? One that just tries to sit back and chill. Like a ramping play style. Something, well, I was gonna say something like Harvest, but yeah, if it disables your god, then maybe not, right? But like, I do not want Dispel. Or maybe alternatively, someone who plays, you know, faster, right? Like the opposite of that. Yeah, I guess I don't know when you pick Dispel. Of course, that does depend on your the negative effect it gives, right? Does depend on the trade-off. What Mage's Shield teleport? Yeah, that's true. Maybe there's a better thing than Dispel then, right? Like a better effect that is more versatile. Like unplaying a old god card, right? Like puts the old god card back at the bottom of the deck. That might be cooler, right? That you could use on spells or something like that. What about disabling an old god card? I mean, would that work on spells? I guess you'd have to say, like, if you use it on a spell, it disables it for a turn. And then you could try to get, yeah, I mean, maybe the flaw is like removing a card from existence, right? That's what, like, I guess the question is what is needed within spells, right? Because, like, there's some stuff that's interesting here that we have written down. I think disabling a card could be interesting, or something along the lines of Dispel that sort of serves that function to neutralize a spell card, or potentially, you know, has that functionality, right? Like you said, disabling a card would be interesting. Spells are honestly a card type the most reliant on deck building. Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, the question is what is the game lacking, right? Arcane Barrier is interesting, right? Like I said, it's a structure or a card that acts as a hero structure or land. that has units on it, right? That's interesting. But is it needed? I don't know. I don't think so. It's just a character you can play anytime, essentially. Which is interesting. But I thought we had that with like Lich or something, right? Yeah, it can be played at any time. It has an ability. I like Arcane Barrier. But is it needed? Not really. That's what I'm saying. Like, right? It's cool later on in development, but is it necessary now? No. Does it fill a gap, right? Not even is it needed, but is it providing something that nothing else has? In a slight sense, yes, but like it also needs a different name, right? Or I guess Mage's Shield. I just feel like those could get confused, but I feel like no spell is needed. Well, I mean, like needed is maybe the wrong word. Something that feels like it's adding something to the game, right? I mean, obviously all of them add something to the game in some sort, but does something unique, you mean? I guess so, yeah. Unique is maybe the right word. Like Divination is interesting, right? Shows the next 3 to 5 cards of the old god card draw. That's interesting. It changes the, like, it's a... I gotta draw teleport and think, how can I use this? You mean spells like that? I think so, yeah. Like... I don't know, I guess I don't know exactly what I mean. I guess what I'm trying to get at is, like... It has to add, I feel like, a good amount of value to be... I mean, because right now it's like, it's just a toss-up, right? Like, part of the reason you wanted to add Priest, right, is because it filled a niche in the game, right? Is there anything here that fills a gap that is needed by spells? I think is what I'm trying to say, right? I'm gonna rank them here for a second. Arcane Barrier, good because there's, it's essentially card placing economy. Now that you can place less cards, that is good in that sense, right? Divination, it's something that we haven't seen before, so it's interesting in that way. Suggestion, which allows you to change monster attack order. That's definitely not seen, but maybe too powerful. Obviously you could have a pretty big detriment to it, but we talked about the spell. I think, yeah, it would probably better to just like disable a card of some sort. I guess all these are pretty unique, right, as we keep going. Gives you units equal to the number of minions on the board. That one's kind of this one's kind of meh. Like, just counteroffensive gives you units equal to the number of minions. That's cool because, like, it counters the, you know, a minion assault, and it scales off of your enemies. But I think granting units is kind of uninteresting. I think I got auto-modded. I think you did. I'm going through magic cards for inspiration. I don't have any spell ideas. I mean, it's not necessarily new ideas that we need. We just need to pick one of these, right? I'd love to contribute, but I have no idea all the rules of your game. You play, test this with people. Sorry, let me reread that. I'd love to contribute, but I have no idea all the rules of your game. You playtest this with people at the moment. Yes, I do playtesting. It is free. There's a screentop.gg version, and there is a tabletop simulator version. Obviously, tabletop simulator isn't free, but the game mod is. Do I have this still? Is it AAE? Yeah, that's the screen top version. Or alternatively, why can I never spell Discord? There's also my Discord server if you want to check it out on there. That has more options to play. I can give you a brief rundown though if you want. It's obviously, yeah, there's a lot of intricacies to it, right? But yeah, I could give you a got TTS, have my card game on there, always looking for playtesters, so I know how it is. I'll give it a look on TTS. Perfect, yeah, awesome. Yeah, and there's a rule book. I've fully illustrated it. Obviously, things are constantly changing. And if you want, if you hit up the Discord server, feel free to share your stuff. I'd be curious to see your game. It's always good to bounce ideas off each other, so. I would be happy to see that. Okay, want a wild spell idea? Sure, why not? But it's like ridiculous. Sure, I'll hear it. Like I said, I think one of these is fine. It's just which one's the best, right? And it might just be I pick one, and then if it sucks, then we change it out for something else, right? Because I'm probably overthinking it is the problem. Because all of these could be potentially good spell ideas. But yeah, let's hear it. Why not? Might just go with Arcane Barrier. Because it's interesting. It seems the least game-breaking. But yeah, actually, if you want to look at it too, it's just called Armies Against Entropy on Tabletop Simulator, or you can look at like one of my videos that's on there as well. I do need to have a link to it. I probably could easily do that. I don't know why I haven't. What about a spell that lets you play some cards from the top of your draw pile without looking at them as disabled cards? When these cards die, they go back to the top of your draw pile. Interesting. I feel like that's like cognitive enhancement, but different. I do like the idea. I don't, we'd have to definitely have a negative for that. Probably a pretty big one. Because like, playing them and then getting them back. Basically use your draw pile as tokens and give you X token cards. Don't think X should be relative. Get like 3 or something. Interesting. Yeah, I mean that's interesting. I definitely could do something with that. I don't know if that's that feels like similar enough to cognitive enhancement that I don't think it's necessary. I think I'm between Arcane Barrier, Divination, and maybe something that disables Old God cards. Or like removing death effects and triggering one instantly. Just doing Arcane Barrier. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I think I'm overthinking it. Because I'm like, oh wait, this needs to go, like go into the thing, but we can always like swap around cards and stuff, right? I have a tendency to like want to make things permanent, and it's been something I've been like working on this game, being like, it's okay to experiment, and then sometimes I get stuck in a rut where I'm like, this has to be like the end all be all thing. If I do this, I can't backtrack ever, right? So that's something I need to, like, I've been trying to be better at. And I think I've done a pretty good job. But I think the farther it gets, the harder it is for me to like be like that, right? I'm gonna open these as reference. So it's a co-op game against a boss. Any cards that let you betray your partner, be directing negative effects towards them instead, or are you always working together with them? Always working together. It's solely co-op. In fact, there are cards to like help each other out. There's no real reason to you're supposed to be working together, but there's nothing stopping you from trolling them anyway. Yeah, there's not really a lot that like enables trolling though. So yeah, it's not really like, it's not like there are obviously those games, right, where it's co-op, but like, or like you can work together, but it's still one winner in the end. This is like, it's a team win. It's you lose or your team loses, you know? Sorry. You win or your team loses. Sorry. I was like, wait, that doesn't sound right. Really don't think taking your partner's god is trolling enough. I guess it's true. The church is pretty trolling. Is there... And I guess like you could do like, I guess you could do trolling things, but usually a lot of that stuff is like agreed upon, right? Although I don't know, yeah, maybe there's people who just like are terrible to each other. I don't know. Okay. I need... But yeah, no, I've played a few of those games and they're fun, but I just want something a little different. Yeah, essentially as a boss, and it's drawing cards and has its own each card has their own turn order and stuff like that. What am I doing? Right. Oop. Okay. Question is, how similar to these do I make it look? I feel like it kind of has to be different from Arcane Barrier. Maybe we make it like more purple instead. Because like this sort of purple. Because if we make it too I called this Arcane Barrier. Mage's Shield. If we make Arcane Barrier, and it might need a different name than Arcane Barrier, because Mage's Shield feels like it could be the same. Like Arcane Construct might be better. Something like that. But yeah, let's make it purple instead, right? Why not? Darker purple? Trying to think what this looks like. I mean, it could look like a bubble shield kind of thing, but I feel like we already have that for Mage's Shield, right? It almost feels like it needs to be like a wall, maybe. Let's look up Arcane Construct. Construct is very creature-y. I think that's just because of WoW, but... What about an actual shield made of magics? Maybe? Yeah, well, Mage's Shield does exist. Yeah, that's a thing. This is more... God, I got cat hair. Like, name-wise, I get it. I'd get confused. Yeah, I think rather than a shield... Like, it needs to be something like... I guess it could literally be anything constructed. My thought is almost just like a wall, right? Let's just sketch things, right? We're here. Like, you know, literally just a rectangle. It could be that. It could be like something that's like more like, you know, magic circle-y, you know, you get your, you know, your whatever. Arcane armor surrounding a dude. It could be that. So this is more, so the sorry, let me rephrase the concept of the spell, because it's not really armor. It basically acts, yeah, the name is confusing. So basically this acts as a hero structure or land. Let me, you know what, screw it. Let me just pull up the game. Give me a second. Because I keep thinking I should, but I may as well. Boom, 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 bada boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, here we go. So the idea is, normally you place heroes, you know, structures and lands on their respected zones, right? This would be a card where you could place it in different zones, because like different enemies have different attack orders, right? Like the different symbols determine what attacks first. So the idea would be that this could be placed to like tank different zones, right? Depending on what attack order the monsters have and what you're wanting to use it for, right? So that would be the idea. So it's more of like a thing than it is a shield, right? Like I think like a barrier might make sense, right? Because it's something that's, you know, can protect your other heroes. Like a literal wall, right? That's one thought. I mean, technically it could be a shield, but it's kind of its own entity, right? It's not played on things. It is played as if it were another card. So I think that's the thing about it. Hopefully that's not sounding dismissive, but I just think it's slightly... it's also trying to like not confuse it with the existing Mage's Shield, which is just a bubble currently, but yeah. Let's sketch a wall and see if it looks boring. Because that's where my brain is at right now. I think I had like a different setting on for my pen tool, and now it's just like functioning better now that I fixed it. That's nice, you know? It's literally just a cube, although it would have more going on with it. And maybe it's like transparent purple. So you'd see through it, and then you'd make individual bricks within it. Actually, let's do this. Yeah, it's cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that just kind of makes the most sense. I can't think of something that works better. It's kind of simple, right? Which is kind of like whatever, but it doesn't need to be too complicated. Just needs to get the idea across. Sometimes, oh god. Sometimes drawing like 3-dimensional rocks is kind of confusing because like you want to make it like a stone, like it feels like it should be guess it could be a giant shield in the air protecting something. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Let's try this and see how it looks. Worst case, this is something else. Or we don't use it. I don't know. I think these are too big. It's gonna be real sketchy with it. It could be a guardian made of magic, like transparent dude. I don't know what seems best in your opinion, though. Yeah, I was thinking maybe that, because you literally look up Arcane Construct. It is a WoW character, which I think could be a good name for it, but I feel like if it's gonna be like a transparent like creature thing, then it may as well be, it may as well have the ability to attack, right? Otherwise, I think it makes more sense as like just like a dud of an object. Something that just an unintelligent wall, you know? We'll see how this looks. I'm fine with just making something. What if it's shield, like shield golem type of thing that can only be really defensive? We do have a stone golem, which is kind of that already. It could be though. I mean, it's kind of similar. Like it could be like an energy golem, right? We could do that if we want something more interesting than just like a brick wall. Because, like, thematically it feels similar to the golem, right? It's just there to tank stuff. So yeah, it could be like an energy golem. Because I guess it can behave as a hero, right? So technically it could be a creature-like thing. So idea one is a wall. Just give the stone wall some legs. That would be funny. Here's my thought though. It'd be something like this, like rather than being like black and white or like a black outline, it would just be like something like purpley, and you get like magicalness around it, right? Maybe it looking stone is bad. It might need to look more like... Man, I can't believe magic is real now. I get to express my creativity in all sorts of cool ways. Makes a wall. It's utilitarian. Honestly, I almost think rather than like an actual brick looking wall, I'm thinking like Green Lantern sort of style of like thing to block immigrants. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, I'm imagining like Green Lantern sort of wall is what I'm I'm kind of imagining, but purple. We're just doing the sketch phase, and we'll see how we feel about it. Well, Green Lantern would have been more of just a block. I feel like it depends. Depends on which Green Lantern you're looking at. Not that I'm like super knowledgeable about Green Lantern lore, but which I hear is like some just crazy lore. I've never actually like partaken in the Green Lantern lore, but from what I understand, it sounds like something that's written as it goes along. I think I do like this better than I like the other one, but okay, we have potential of a boring cue ball. I kind of hate it, but you know, it's there. Stream, chat, and Discord. Trying to prove me wrong here. Beautiful. That's it. Alternatively, we do like a golem thing. Let's sketch something. I mean, we could do like, I mean, our style is very like, you know, the circle head with the you know, the detached body, legs, hands. I feel like it would almost need to be like energy like, right? Just looks insane. I'm trying to think this through. Probably the better way to pretend to do this, if we're gonna humor the idea. Num 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 num. Armies against entropy. No, actually it's in pawns. We need to take the template. Around the time I overwrote the template, well, it's back. I fixed it. Like, give it some sort of like defensive posture. It's kind of hard with the limitations of the style, but what do you think? Like, you know, kind of like bracing for impact, which means leaning forward slightly, I guess, which means the legs need to move. Problem is, like, the biggest flaw with this style, besides it just being, you know, simpler, is that there's no, like, waist movement, and it looks very rigid. Like, knees would be bent. This leg would be out, technically. I really need to use my drawing pad. Hold on, here we go. Or, wait. I don't know. I feel like this might be just too much effort for this card, but we'll see. Like, for something that's inherently feels simple, I don't know. Why am I struggling here? Why is my lasso tool being weird too? I've gone focus mode. Stop talking. Nice, looking like Sonic. It's looking a little too much like Sonic for my liking. It's going Super Saiyan. I don't think this is what I want. Maybe it's okay. I don't know. Hold on. We'll get there. Maybe. I think I might just go with the wall, honestly. I don't know, though. Having a hard time determining what this should look like, you know? Card art hard, you know? It is difficile. Art hard. Really is looking like I get it more than anyone else, LMAO. Good. I'm glad we're in this together. This isn't terrible, but I'm not like in love with it either. I feel like the better move is just do it like... You probably won't even see the hands. Like give it a shield. I don't know. I can't quite picture it in my head, I think is the problem. Like, is this anything? I don't know. Obviously, it's really hard to tell from, like, a sketch, too, but... I was confident going into it, you know? But now I am not. I am no longer confident. Confidence is dead. Seems more like a flame sprite now. I don't know if we like the no legs look. It feels weak. That's the problem. I don't know, man. But then I look at my wall and it feels very boring. All of it. I'm like looking up references here, but gotta love that. I was looking at just looking up Green Lantern like references because I was like, oh, do they have like a Green Lantern wall? And then I look and there's a like a set that someone makes that's just a Green Lantern brick wall that like you can buy for your action figures. I'm like, that feels like that's wild that that's someone sells that, you know? Gonna peace out. Let me know if you want someone new and clueless to play test. Sometime would be down to help in any way. Awesome, yeah, man. Definitely feel free to share your game too. Again, I don't know if you're in the Discord, or if you joined it or anything, but I would love to see your game as well. Gotta support each other in these with game development, because well, I guess there's a lot of people out there, but there's not a lot of people sharing content on it, at least. So yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good one. See ya. That would be good to get your feedback on it. Cool. See ya, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I am at a loss here. I think I'm gonna go with the easy thing. Well, let's see what I think of this now that I haven't been looking at it for a second. Yeah, I feel like this isn't right. I just want a wall. I just want a good old brick wall. Here's the thing, though. Let's start over. Let's put these in sketches. Wall time. Again, I think I'm overthinking it. Here's the plan. Let's do... I want it to be like a fisheye perspective almost. I think that will make it look more interesting. Like that might be a little much, but like trying to think what way it would be. I guess it depends on, like, just give it more character, if that makes sense. It's kind of weird this way because technically you see the bottom of the wall. Let's do this. I need the mesh warp tool. Make it kind of fun, you know? Drawing a wall. Yeah, so I think honestly a lot of these streams are probably going to be just this for a while, because I have rulebook stuff to work on, and again, I don't think I want to stream that because it's just boring. I think it's card design streams for a bit. For more beta stuff. Rules. I need to almost do a second sketch layer here. Yeah, I mean, we could do rules, but it's It's not even like we're talking about the rules, it's just watching me make the rule book, because the rules are already established, you know? It's just to write down what makes it sound good and do the art for it. Seems to be like less whatever. Dyslexic man versus 100 words. True. My worst enemy. Words. My only weakness, words. Ah. I don't know why I decided to sound like the narrator from Pit People, but if you know what I'm talking about. If only that game was better, you know? Could have been so good. It just felt like it didn't have just lack of stuff, you know? Just a lack of stuff. I think that's literally it. That's what it's gonna look like. Honestly, I probably could just clean up the sketch slightly and just use it. It's like just this line down here that looks bad. It's okay if it looks a smidge sketchy, because I'll probably make it look like magical and have like energy trails coming off of it, but no sketch. That's how good we are. The wall. Who's texting me? Some nerds. Just kidding. Okay, we'll make this 100%, this 100%. I think what I want to do is I want like a dark purple. I think maybe the background we're actually gonna change the color of for now. Let's just figure out the background after. Let's just do like blue for now. And we'll figure out this. Let's do a color overlay, and I want purple. Okay. And then I want this, and I want a color overlay, and I want, she might just be more transparent. That is not what I meant to do. Okay. And then we select this, and we go like this, and we go like this, and we like expand the thing, and then we invert it, and then we take a new layer, and then we fill it with yet another purple, like a light purple. It's not entirely what I meant to do, but you know, it's okay. Do not mean to fill these. Wow, so magical. It's a wall. A purple wall. It's funny because you literally can't Google search a magic wall. I'm like trying to get like reference images and it just shows like voting stuff, and then I look up like magic. I don't know. Nothing cool, unfortunately. Let's do another layer and do like a little arcane sort of majiggy on the ground. I also want to look at magic missile again too. Interesting, I vibrantized it. If that's a word. Oh, so you don't think voting systems are cool? I'm revoking your nerd license. Honestly, no. I also... It is not what I'm looking for. It's more the problem. It's more, Is that a nerd thing, or is that more of a geek thing? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't really understand the difference. I know there's a whole bunch of like people who talk about that, and I decided I don't care anymore. But voting systems are so magical. I know, right? Good old voting. I'm just wanting them to, you know, take my free will already, you know? That's how I'm feeling. Ready to be a mindless drone. Who needs voting? Okay. Let's shade some stuff. Is this going to be my most interesting best work? Probably not. But, you know, sometimes we're just here. Sometimes we just do things. Vivid light it is. Well, this feels like it should be more shadow than... Yeah, it's fine. It's magic. Also, you could probably almost do... I don't know, like add or something. And honestly, rather than just applying this to here, let's put all this in the folder and apply it to the entire, the entirety of the colors here. It's looking more magical by the second. Maybe be too magical. I'm losing it. I keep thinking I'm seeing my cat out of the corner of my eye, and she is not there. I'm just losing my mind. Slowly. It's only been an hour and a half, too. I feel like it's been, like, super long. I feel like I've been streaming for forever. Why? I don't know. Kind of want to give, like, a core color. Like, the inside of it has, like, some sort of life to it. I don't know why I chose a dark color, but let's see here. I've been keeping you a streaming time loop ever since 1932. Honestly, wouldn't be totally surprised. Logically, it makes more sense than you showing up every time I stream. At least in my mind, you know? Why are you here for this garbage? Just kidding. Just fake being hard on myself. That being said, actually, I am curious because I'm trying to like figure out, like, I know you will watch whatever I do at this point. But like, what is the appeal of a Beats stream, you know? Really, Occam Razor yourself into me putting you into a time loop? Exactly. Makes more sense. Because yeah, I'm trying to like figure out what I can do to like improve the stream, and like I'm kind of like drawing a blank because I feel like there's not like a whole lot of like super successful in terms of things appeal. There's a few things in terms of appeal, but the biggest thing I'd say is either observing or conversing with a creative. Yeah, I guess that's, yeah, that makes sense. At least to me. Yeah. I think that's like but I don't know, it's just like interesting like thought experiment, like trying to think about it like logically, right? And baldy, bald, dyslexia, bald. Yeah, of course. Gotta get that in there. But I feel like that's like bald is almost a joke for like every streamer. Like you go to any streamer and they're like, oh yeah, I'm bald. It's like, all right. Like I'm actually bald. Yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting because like I'm trying to think of like, I should drink water. Like what makes me appealing? What could I do to be more appealing? I think I have like a niche, right? Like I literally the dude who's just in here, you know, someone streaming, you know, card game content is not, there's not a lot of people doing it, right? So there is a niche to be filled. Whether there's like enough people to watch that, kind of hard to say. Sometimes I feel like Soul may be like a better bet as far as that goes. Because there is like a tabletop RPG category even on Twitch, right? So there's that, but either way, it's a niche that doesn't have a lot going for it. And there's not like really, you look at like art streamers and there's not any of them that are like huge, right? Because obviously that's what I'm doing right now, but you know, you can be decent size in an art streamer. But yeah, I'm like trying to figure out what I can do to just like improve in general. And it's kind of hard to figure that out, you know? Despite this being a cube, I'm starting to feel proud of it. I like the lighting. I know I kind of also have like the, you know, the underdog story appeal, right? Like I'm not successful. I'm kind of just doing this and trying to make a go of it, and that's like a thing. I think strategically you have to move from niche to wider topics as you grow. Well, in niche, there's a cap. You must max viewers, but they'll be loyal. Yeah, I'm okay with, like, you know, obviously there's gonna be a cap, and I will move to like broader topics as things go, right? But yeah. I don't know. With those loyal viewers, you can move to a wider topics. Yeah, exactly. For example, you can't stream Minecraft until you're at least medium-sized or you won't grow. Yeah, it's very true. But like, people love watching popular people play Minecraft. So yeah, there's definitely a well, I mean, not love, but you know, there's a market for that. It's like, oh, my favorite streamer plays Minecraft. I play Minecraft. So I feel like card game dev is decent niche in that sense that there's very little of you, but card games in general is quite big concept. Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah. So I think like I'm not worried about my like my niche exactly, right? Like I think I maybe like tabletop RPGs could be like a little bit more better than TCGs, at least as far as like creation of it, right? Because even like a best viewers, yay! I'm excited for half a second, like, oh, someone from Twitch, yay! How do I ban you forever? Ban. Loyal viewers, indeed. Block. But yeah. But yeah, you might be able to get more like with like tabletop games, because it's like inherently GMs kind of do the work for like building a new game, right? They're kind of doing that every time they make a new world. So I think there's like an element to that. But anyway, that said, like, I'm trying to figure out what I can do to actually make my content more interesting. Some of it might just be like doing, yeah, more broad appeal, like style things. Like, you know, like I could draw viewers like suggestions and crap like that. Like, I have been tempted to just do a stream where it's just like, if you chat, I will draw something for you. But part of that is like even getting viewers in the first place. There's a lot of like content ideas, or like, if you do this, like if it's time to go broad appeal. Yeah. Well, and like part of it too is like, like everyone who's like suggests stream ideas is either one, just all video game related, or like two, you have to have a user base for it to be interesting. Like, yeah, ask, like, have your chat like take over your stream. It's like, okay, well, how is that even possible if I don't have have a user base? So I don't know. It's really, but yeah, I know it's definitely not time to go broad appeal, but I think there is like, you can have some broad stuff within like my content, right? Like I can draw a thing for a viewer in my style. Also, I'm making a game. Like, one of the guys I follow, he's been in here a few times, dual wielded. He, a fellow game dev, I'll say. He, actually, I should show you this because it's great. Let's see if it's just on my, I may set it as my desktop. Oh, come on. We don't need this open anymore. I went in his stream and he draws stuff with like, if you have enough channel points and stuff like that. And he drew me this. Because he does like little stickers and stuff on his stream. And I asked for a blue and orange beetle, and this is what I got. I have been meaning to watch Julia at some point. The Radish King reel. But yeah. But yeah, no, he's got great stuff. And honestly, a lot of his like stuff is like inspiring to me because he has like he like branches out and does different things, but like yeah, his stuff is like really good. And like I mimic some of his stuff in some ways, you know? Not mimic, but like I do take inspiration from a lot of his stuff. Like he's got like animations and stuff like that, and he's got like side stories and stuff going on in his videos and all that kind of thing. So mimicry is how creativity works anyway. Yeah, exactly. So I do take a lot of inspiration from him. Not even gonna deny that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it all out, you know? The whole process. Trying to decide like what I can do to be better, right? Man, I wish I was smarter and had advice. No, you're good. Honestly, a lot of just you know, the stuff we talk about with game stuff, it honestly helps a lot. So and honestly, just being here really has been super motivational, which is like half of it, right? Like if I was just streaming half of this to a dead stream, I don't know if I'd be here anymore. Not like alive, but like streaming. Because that sounded drastic for half a second there. Why can't you ask for advice on calculus or something, huh? Why does it have to be things I don't know? I'm not really like, it's not even like necessarily advice that I'm like looking for, I guess. That sounds real drastic. Jesus. Yeah, I was like, I wouldn't be here anymore. I was like, that sounded way too dark. But yeah, no, I don't know if I would be streaming as much. But yeah, yeah, it's not necessarily like advice, but like just like, I guess it's just brainstorming as well, right? Like what makes this sort of, I guess that's why I was like asking what the appeal is, right? Like, how can I do more better, you know? I don't know if I like this. I like a kind of faint glow, but maybe it just needs to be subtle. How are we feeling about this jelly wall that I'm making? I feel like the background needs to be darker in its entirety. Yeah, maybe not. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to just figure it out. And it's been whatever. Stream is superbly out of my territory, so I have 0 ideas. Yeah, that's fair. Like part of it, I think, like, unfortunately, is just like art streaming isn't super popular. Not like popular enough to be like the only thing you can do, you know, or like the only thing you need to do, rather. I don't know what I'm doing on this drawing anymore either. I think we need to, like, can we do this and then like change one to add? That's kind of cool, right? Maybe. Does that just hurt your brain? I think that just hurts my brain. Game dev generally does best in highlights and recaps kind of format. Like, ooh, I'm coding. Ooh, are you entertained? Ooh, yeah. Honestly, even I think a lot of streaming, right, is that like you do you do like videos, right? That's the way to get more people to your streams. And honestly, coding, I personally, like, obviously I don't know it, but like I also feel like it's not super interesting to watch, right? But maybe that's just me. I don't know. Like, well, I guess the logic could be interesting, right? I guess I just don't know it, which like makes it not super like appealing to me in that sense. I'm staring at some gibberish on screen trying to find a singular typo I made 17 hours ago. Isn't fun. Isn't the best stream content. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I don't know. It's saying I don't know a lot. I say I don't know when I don't know, you know? I need to seem more grounded, which I think means I need to like add some light here that looks the exact same color as, yeah, there we go. Okay, let's do this, and then we add another one, and then we do like a so, just kind of get it everywhere. And then we make that like a soft light. Maybe? What does that do for us? A little bit. I kind of just don't like how pale this is. It might need to be like slightly more vibrant. But yeah, no, I think like the problem with like a lot of game dev is it's not approachable, and I think that's maybe like part of the problem with my content as well, is that like it's really hard to just walk into and understand it, which is I guess what that one dude was saying at one time, right? Like it needs to have I can't remember the term he used, but like you can't just walk in and be like, oh yeah, I understand what he's saying. This makes sense to me. Maybe playing the game with viewers or something. I mean, that could be interesting. It adds like engagement, right, with some of that. But like at the same time, doing stuff with viewers is like like playing the game directly with or rather streaming with viewers is like could potentially be really bad. Because you know you start streaming and then they start, you know, yelling slurs and then you get, you know, banned and then you're like sick, right? Like that one kid I had to ban. Actually, there's 2 people I had to ban at this point, which is fun. I guess unapproachable does fit. I do like some games that are also hard to approach. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, I didn't mean putting him on the call with you. Okay. Yeah, well, how would that work, though? Like, could that be done, you think? Like, could I even... Is there a way I could, like, play the game with viewers without talking to them? Like, that feels maybe difficult to do. I've not labeled a single layer. I think I want like a sheen on here, and then maybe I'm just gonna call this good enough. Color dodge. That might be too much. Sorry, let's see here. Maybe like set up with TTS thing, chat with them through text, and then after you see their message, you text to speak their message. Yeah. It's only a fix for unapproachable I can think of. I've been tempted to like make a, honestly, what I really should do is make like a short, like a YouTube short that's a minute long that explains the game. I think that could actually be maybe huge. Like, just be like, hey, this is the game. And then like quickly, like you move units and you do this and you do that. But it's kind of hard when the game is like ever evolving. Although hopefully we're kind of getting close to a point where it's like, this is close to done. Not done, but like base mechanics are close to being done. Otherwise I have to like do it every single time I, loving new art. Thank you, Duncan. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is, I don't know, haven't quite come up with a name yet. Arcane Barrier or something. Something along those lines. I want like a, maybe a pink. Also about shorts, there's a thing you should toggle off with shorts or something like that, like notify subscribers. Apparently it notifies people that don't click on your shorts and it kind of hurts. I heard it from Pirate Software. I've heard that too. I'm slightly skeptical on that. Like, I guess, yeah, well, I think with that, like toggling stuff off really depends on your niche, whatever, and what content you're putting out. I think if you're like my latest short, I don't know if you saw it, it's just like a thing from the stream, that probably I should have not posted to everyone, right? Because it was very like well, let me be honest, I almost don't watch any of your shorts almost ever. Honestly, most of them are recaps of the videos, and then the not recaps, but just like stolen things from the videos, or Just stuff from the stream. If I see one, I might watch it, but if it's just in the notification tabs, I'm not clicking on it. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it might be worth it with just shorts in general, though, but yeah, it's a good point. All right, what do we think of this this thing? This kind of, wait, where's the, it kind of doesn't make sense that it's like going through it here. Do I have the right layer? No. This layer. Sorry, there's people talking. Shoot. There we go. See if you watch it. I'll watch all your shorts twice and make up for Dalmas. I fell into your trap. Fell into my trap. I'll also watch them twice. But also Jello Boy looks tasty, doesn't it? It does look like Jello. Kind of okay with that, though. Sometimes it's kind of fun to have stuff that's like, kind of goofy too. Not like goofy, but like this kind of looks like Jello, even though it's a magic wall. And that could lead to like players saying funny things like, oh, I'm gonna use Jello wall. Like I always call it like a swamp or something like that, which I think is a magic thing. Like people say that in like that kind of stuff, but it's just fun, you know? It's fun to be silly. I don't know what color this is anymore. I think it's this one. I think that's good. I mean, some spells gotta look tasty. And Banish definitely wasn't doing it. True. Banish is one of the less nice looking cards, but it's okay. Some of the spells look tasty though. I like honestly, I'm really happy with all the ones that look blue. All these. Banish is like, actually Banish is okay. It could look cooler though. It could look better. Demolish is good. That one's good. Charm is kind of like, eh. These ones were like, I ran out of time and I didn't know what to do. Anyway, we've got a Jello wall. Sometimes your wall just needs to be Jello. Banish doesn't look bad, just not tasty. Very true. Send reinforcements definitely last minutes. Yeah, 100%. Army Camp was like, I think I did first, which looks, not Army Camp. Raisin Army, I think I did first, which looks kind of better in a sense, right? Like it's, one of these cards makes sense, but then having send reinforcements look the same is kind of like, eh, but here we are. I don't think I'll ever change it. I mean, maybe I could add like a little bit more flair to it, but I don't think I'm going to do too much to it. There are some I definitely would tweak, and maybe we'll do a bit of that today. Just to see, but yeah, I guess technically all we need to do is add a spell in here, and then we've successfully completed the quota we need for the normal game requirements, like without beta, like for deck building. Granted, we only need 2 heroes and 2 lands. Is that correct? Is that what I said? Yeah, 2 heroes and 2 lands. So one of them has to be, well, we have 2 structures, right? I think it's only 2 structures we need. I would think like it'd be nice to not have church, because church is interesting, but kind of like weird. I would probably rather have something different, something more interesting, but although we did lower the unit cost on it, so that's like potentially a lot better, but and some stuff has to be in beta, right? So what are we officially calling this thing? I feel like Arcane Construct is better than Barrier, right? Maybe. What does Construct mean? Like, officially. Like, it's to build. An idea. Yeah. Wall-O Jelly-O. Why did I say Jelly-O? Jello. I said Jelly-O. Yeah, I think Arcane Construct is cool for me. Unofficially Jelly Wall. Here's, I think, the plan. The official plan, now that I've been thinking about it. I'm gonna work on the rulebook off stream when I have time, which might not be a lot of time because I have the video to get done. And then when the video is done, or like between then and now, like in between then and getting the rulebook done, I will continue to add these spells or these cards during stream, and then once the rulebook is done, we will decide what cards are going to go into the base version of the game, and the rest will stay in beta. No dies. No rulebook for you. No rulebook for Maximus. I mean, be honest though, wouldn't you rather watch me draw card art and actually talk about things than like get really sucked into like trying to figure out wording and like drawing how to illustrate that wording on a thing and like tweaking text for 30 minutes? I feel like this is more interesting than that. I know it's part of a meme for you to like be sad about that, but yeah, okay, you're correct. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, speaking of how to word things, how do we word this? Place the spell as if it were a hero, structure, or land. Immediately place 1 to 6 units on the card. Units may not be removed from this card. May not's 2 words. Does that make sense? Place the spell as if it were a hero, structure, or land. Immediately place 1 to 6 units on the card. Units may or may not, or units may not be removed from this card. Oh, the idea is 1 to 6 because then you can like kind of. What if Jello Wall got Golem's passive instead? It can't really, because this would have to also go on the text, I think. Because this can't be like an ability or anything. It just feels like it would be too much text on there, unfortunately. Unless we're putting like unit effects on the spell, which that kind of thing gets like really crazy. And then it can't have a cost. I like the idea, but I feel like it's too much for one card, unfortunately. The question is, what's the cost on this? I feel like something. I think we could go with disabling or disabling something or discarding, I would think. Like discard a card or disable a card. I feel like it doesn't need like a super crazy punishment. What was Mage's Shield? I feel like something similar to that, right? It disables your shielded card until next turn. While I ponder that for a second, I am going to go to Dexterous and upload this image. Hello, Lugana Blugana. Hi. Do you want to come up? No. Just wants to stare at me. Lugana Belugana, 100%. Here. Dun 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 dun. I wonder if she's gonna attack it. Oh, she's gonna attack me instead. Ow. It's reversed. You're mine now, kitten. Ah! She has been captured. Kitten secured. Mwah! Why do you try to run away from me? Why do you hate me? Got a close up on the kitten. She doesn't like it. Why do you hate me? Mwah. Okay, bye. Expertly cameraed. By that, I mean cinematographer. A cinematographer. What am I doing? Besides getting distracted by my cat. Spells. God, this is actually, I just realized this is still called like monster structures and monster spells in my file pathing. But I really don't want to change it for like almost no reason. You did say something and I need to read that, but hold on. Card art, player card, spells. It would help if I saved the card out. If I was the Dark Lord of Darkness, wait, the Dark Lord, the Lord of Darkness, and some human called me Lugana Belugana, I'd end him. True. True and correct and accurate. Files. Wow. I really need to stop doing this. This is the first time saving this. I guess worst case, I'd just take a screenshot from this, but we'd lose some quality here. Card art, player cards, spells. What do we call this? Arcane construct. Yeah, probably. Yep. We all know I can't spell, so we're just gonna paste it. And okay, cool. Saved, and then we export it as a PNG. I don't understand why Photoshop doesn't export the thing in the file, like in the folder that the Photoshop file exists. I wonder if there's a way to like change that as a default, because that is like so annoying. Just forgot to breathe for a second. No. Really? There we go. Done. I'm pretty happy with that, honestly, for like a Jello cube. I think it's kind of nice looking, and I'm actually happy with it. Turned out a lot. It turned out how I pictured it in my brain. I was picturing it as blue, but I'm glad I made it purple. I'm also happy with Wall O Jello. God, I can't say it. For some reason, I keep wanting to say Jellio. The old Jellio. But yeah, no, I'm actually happier with it than I thought. Yeah, what do we want to do for a cost? Disabling a card of your choice or discarding a card. Is that like enough of a cost though? I'm gonna say disable a card of your choice. It's a mechanic we haven't worked a lot with. May as well just do it. I don't know why I typed that there. Let's put it in here. Make sure it's spelled correctly. Yeah, that's, why is it not? You're literally not spelled correctly. Why is it not working? Disable. Sometimes I don't understand any of this. Just want to make sure spell check was actually working there. And it's just not. Alright, whatever. Alright, let's I'm trying to decide if I need to actually do a separate icon for the triggered effect on spells. Like, it feels like I should, but it almost doesn't seem necessary. Oops. But it could get weird if, like, I add something that's, like, when triggered effects happen, they happen twice or like whatever, you know. Like the old God of Abundance would make spells absolutely horrible. So I feel like it might need something. We might need a yet another effect type, quote unquote. But we'll see. The other thing is I don't know. Let's just make sure that this works. See what it looks like. Refresh CSV. It did not work. Oh, I know why it didn't work. I always forget to do this. I guess actually next few streams I probably should probably do some old god cards. This is gonna take a second, I guess. Meow 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 meow. All right, let me hit the bathroom real quick, and then I will probably just tweak some card art, and then call it good. Call it a day. So, be right back. Okay, I have returned. There we go. Look at it. Look at that card. Why is the spacing so weird on that? Like, is it just me, or does it look like there's extra spacing between words? I guess part of it is we can get rid of anything that says units. We can replace the icon. Unit and unit. Nope. Place the spell. Place the spell. We can actually use the spell icon. Is that actually innately on there? No. What is the... What is the spell icon? Spells plural. That probably needs to be different, but that's okay. We'll correct all that someday. Who knows what day that is? It's not this day. feel like that just looks weird, and I don't know why. Dexter's just doing something weird on that. I guess I do have auto shrink on, and maybe that's what it is. That's probably what it is. I think I'm gonna remove immediately. This card. Let's try that. See how it looks. Looks a lot better. I don't like how this just randomly has a period after the icon. Oh, you know, part of that is I don't actually need to... Actually, how does that look on... I want to see... Let's look at... here. What does this look like? Okay, it does have commas. That could probably change. It probably could just say... It doesn't necessarily have to say this, this, or this. Well... Yeah, I guess it does, because otherwise it's like, if all these are destroyed, then you get this. All right, I'm just tweaking it a little bit at a time here. I'm happy with it though. Just gonna get rid of the period, even though it should be there. It's just weirdly showing up on the opposite, on the other line there. I don't know why that undid what it... There we go. Perfect. Looks good. What else? We got 30 more minutes to stream, so let's just tweak a few cards. I really want to work on this a little bit. I want to give these buildings here a little bit of detail, and then shade the ground a smidge. And then I think that will be good for that. I don't think there's any other beta cards I'm upset with. There might be some like normal ones that we'd need to tweak a little bit, but let's do the church, because I'm kind of like meh on that one. Structures. Church. That's a PNG. Honestly, I'm kind of like just looking at this and like thinking how some of these things have come a long way. Like look at my look at the castle. I mean, it's got its own character, but man, does that not look... This doesn't look quite right. I could modify it and make it a little better, but man, it's not quite there. All right, the biggest thing that bothers me here is this path. I feel like needs a little more shading, and then the other thing is that these houses need some detail on them, because right now they just look kind of bland. So let's do this. I think just doing that a little bit goes a long way there. It's maybe a little too much, but we can tone it down a little bit. Okay, that feels good. Let's just do like a little bit more there too. A little bit of shading on here. Just giving it some texture, I guess, is like part of the biggest thing here. Because some of it just looks really flat. Maybe even just taking a different brown and like doing that to the path. Actually, instead of that, let's do this. Select it. Do a new thing. Maybe even gray, right? Because like it's a maybe cobblestone path. Nah, it's not quite right. I think brown is better. Maybe we can tone it down a smidge. I don't know. It's best darker. Yeah. Makes the church stand out a little more. Alright, now let's go into... Okay, these houses are on their own layer. This is a layer nightmare here, but that's okay. Just giving them some texture. Maybe like brown. That sort of like log cabin sort of style thing. I don't even know what I'm... Like the lath and plaster kind of thing? Is that what that is? I don't remember. Like where they has like white plaster, I guess, between wood. So I guess that is lath. And, well, it's not lath. Lath is more thin, I guess. Kind of hate it. We're just gonna keep working on it though. See what we get. It's too dark. This maybe? Yeah. No, it feels like it should be like thatched color. Yeah. It might even be cool to just do a little bit of that over the line art. Like just some... Make the roof look a little more... less rigid, right? Cool. I don't think I like the white here. Might just do like brown instead or something. Trying to think of like how the... It's maybe like that. some sort of support. And I think, honestly, I'm gonna, like, make him a lot darker. Maybe add, like, a window. Or a few. Returneth I hath. Welcome back, Yoda. Doing some tweaks on some of the other cards. I wasn't happy with how these looked. Now on top of these, I think I want to do some shadow. You know what I mean? Right. It needs to be over everything. Let's do it on this layer. Ugh. It's beautiful, right? It's the problem with drawing over the line art is it's hard to correct it. This needs to be its own layer. I'm figuring it out. It's okay. We got this. I just don't want them to be like the center of attention at all. In any way, shape, or form. They're kind of like background elements, so I don't want it to be like... I don't want it to be too apparent, right? Really? I did not mean to do that. That's a lot better. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was focused there for a second, apparently. Zoned in. Like, the focus of the card should be here, so it really doesn't need to be... This little side detail doesn't need to be super, super vibrant, right? Oops. I think that's a lot better. It's better than it was. Let's export PNG. It's good enough is what it is. Overwrite the... Yeah, I don't really care about the old version. We'll overwrite it. Yep. And then we'll go into... Damn, I'm smart and she. Are you? What have you done? Wait, sorry, I didn't read the thing. Good enough is never good enough. That is not true. Is that why you're smart? The statement before, or is it something else that you did? Good enough is better than not good enough, in my opinion. Because perfection is overrated. Well, come on, that sounded 100% epic and rad. I mean, it sounded like a cool one-liner for sure, yeah. I'll give you that. Smart? I don't know. Sounded cool? Sure. Let's see, yes, face image. Just giving you a hard time. Okay, and that should just auto update. Okay, I sound cool. I'll take that. Yeah, that's what I'm giving you. There we go. That's better. And I'm still not happy with it. I think I like the windows before. They also need like... I need... Please hold. I need this, but I need this darker. Cool. It's like so minuscule, it doesn't even matter, but you know, here we are. Which I guess in your case, you're correct. Good enough was not good enough. Actually, I don't think that helps anything. I broke it. Did I really not save it at all? You know what? We're just gonna live with it. It's done. I done goofed. It's fine. Ha, take that. Yeah. Let me try something. Yeah, I don't know. Just the windows look too saturated. I kind of almost want to just do this. Let's do some crazy stuff. Let's do an adjustment layer. Let's do hue and saturation. Let's do we want to make everything here black, and then we want to switch to white, and then we want to do this, and then we want to just lower the saturation. Is that even better? Honestly, at this point, I'm just overthinking it, but... I just don't like the over blueness of the window. It's too deep of a blue. But it also really shouldn't matter. I think it's fine. I think I'm overthinking it. I think just desaturating it slightly is fine. Maybe just doing this a smidge. At this point, you might as well put a guy smoking outside the village. Yeah, you're right. Actually, it's funny you say that. I was thinking of adding fog. Yeah, doesn't look good. Yep, nope, it's fine as is. You are correct. It was good enough. Fog, but it's massive cigar of one dude is eating. Yeah, exactly. Look at this. Look at this card. This one turned out nice. Eating my brain. Meant smoking. Or I meant smoking. My brain is not doing too good. Yep. Mine neither. Me neither. But also, like, I thought that could be like a way you say like someone's smoking a cigar a lot. Like they're really smoking it. They're just eating the cigar. I just kind of thought it was, you could have just like played it off and I wouldn't have noticed anything. I don't know. Some cards are better than others. You know? Like giant turtle, cool. I guess so. Like how you say inhaling for someone eating insanely fast. Yeah, it'd be like the opposite of... There's actually a word for that, I think, where it's like... It's something that means the opposite for... like the opposite of what it means. Like saying like to hold fast is to hold something securely, which would not be fast. It doesn't move. This is like the opposite. Like you inhale food, but you eat a cigar, which you would normally inhale. I mean, cards are better than others. Altruism. 1865. Classic altruism. Anyway, I feel like that might about do it. I'm at least sitting back for a second. We got a lot done. I mean, we got a card done, plus a little bit more. I mean, it's a simple card, but yeah, I'm happy with it. It looks very fun. Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do is we'll just keep making cards until I'm done with the rules, and then when I'm done with the rules, we decide what cards we want to add, and then we those will go to the main version and the rest stay in beta. Did we determine how many Old God cards need to be added? I don't think we did. I think it's more than you'd think. There are a total... Well, right now there's a total of 59 cards, but it would be a 24 plus 24 plus 12 plus 12, right? Yeah, 72. Wait, no. Yeah, hold on. That can't be right. Well, it could be right. I don't really want 144 Old God cards. Hold on. Let me think this through for a second. Why is that not mathing in my brain? Is that how... Have you properly... After you develop the cards properly, according to your formula, it ends up to 144 cards. Yeah, that's what I thought. Your math is right, but the algebra you decide on is kind of bad. Yeah. Yeah, because right now you deck build and you just go against the Old God as is, right? That's kind of how that works. Olga has 144 cards because 144 player cards total. Okay, right. Yes, okay. Yeah. Player cards total. Does that help me or does that not do anything for me? Does that still mean I need to make 144 cards total? Which means I would need to double the number of Old God cards, right? Essentially. Yeah, because there's 64 right now. Yeah, I think it would mean I need to double the Old God cards, basically. More than double. No. Yeah, more than double. Let's get cooking. Yeah, jeez. That's a lot. Unless we just double the quantities of everything, but that seems dumb. I mean, we'd still need more cards if we doubled the quantity of everything. That's the crazy thing. Doubling quantity also ruins card conning. I agree. I mean, it could maybe be instead that, well, honestly, it might be worth trying to play a game with deck building and see how many cards the Old God actually needs. Yeah, no, I agree. We could play a 3 Blight Mites were played, but the Old God still plays a Ravager Blight Mite, yeah. I agree. One of the things I want to try to do, and I want to get into coding, so I may as well just maybe start with Tabletop Simulator. One of the things I was thinking is potentially trying to make like a script that will randomly assign you like half the cards, but like in the proper quantities. I don't know how like feasible. I mean, obviously it's pretty feasible. I think it's just I don't know how one even does that. Because like I don't know how like a card has like if it has a unique identity or what. I guess it does. But that's just a name. It doesn't have like you might need to assign everything like unique whatever. Well, Tabletop uses Lua apparently. I don't know Lua at all. Yeah. I'm just wondering how difficult it would be. Like what might be easier? I don't know if you can, I know you can create points. Edit tags to snap points that are created. Like I could add a snap point, right? And you could put cards on snap points. I wonder if you can edit. I'll research snap points because I know you can like, you might be able to do something with that. I'll have to look into it, but it should be quite easy. Yeah, I mean, in theory, right? It might be easy, but the question is how like time consuming is it, right? Because if I have to add like unique identities to every card, that could be a pain in the ass, right? Like if scripting needs that, I kind of doubt it does, but like, it'd be interesting to see what that actually requires. I don't think it should be required. Yeah, me neither. I mean, the worst case scenario, I could like divide each thing into piles, and then the script says, grab X number from this pile, this number from this pile, this number from this pile, place them in this thing, right? Like unique IDs on every card is probably the least efficient way of doing it. Yeah, like I said, it probably piles, I would assume would work that way, like draw X from this number pile of from these cards, but I mean, you could also just make a script to divide the deck into two and shuffle them together. Yeah, I think, well, the biggest thing is I'd want the proportions to be correct. So yeah, it would be, or shuffle them, then divide it in two, right, I guess. Once we have the right proportions, I guess it doesn't really matter, right? You could just have... If the game always has the right proportions, then we could just have each type of card separated, and then you just pick out the number and then follow the proportions and just randomly shuffle, grab that, and then you can go. That'd be easy. And then you can deck build if you want to. So yeah, I guess it almost isn't necessary if we get the proportions of cards good, you know? I'm concerned about the yeah, see, it's not even, that's the thing. It's not even, my math must not be working out. Is it? My math for the Old God cards, no, okay, sorry. The math is fine. My idea of how many cards the Old God should have is probably wrong. I think. Well, originally I was basing it off of 20, and then for 20 of each card, then the Old God would have 40. Maybe it is correct. I don't know. You probably way overestimated it. Yeah, honestly, I think I just need to, because like the number of cards you need might even be like less than that too. But I think the goal is I probably should do more playtesting, and within those playtesting, I should see how many cards are used every time I do it. And if you play any games, that'd be awesome if you tracked like just like how many cards you use, both on player 1, player 2, and Old God. Just like total cards used or even actually seen, maybe both, but I'll count cards now. Yeah, that'll be super useful. I appreciate that, because aye sir, at ease. I hit my hat. Because yeah, I think that'll be really crucial to understanding how much you need. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering how life decking is gonna feel, but because there is a chance that as a AE contest winner 2024, I gather data as efficiently as possible. Beautiful. I love it. Yeah, I kind of wonder how life decking is going to feel, because like if you run out of cards and like it's just too difficult to defeat the Old God, I'm wondering how that's... I feel like the life decking is going to bring back the dread a bit. Yeah, I agree. I'm just wondering if it's gonna be feel unfair, right? Because you're gonna get to a point and you're like, I can't win this. Like, I could never have won this, you know? That's my like only worry with it, is it just gets to that point where you're like, okay, now what? But in theory, the Old God should also have a life decked, so it's not really that big of a deal. Like resource management games, the best moments to me are the times you barely scraping by and keep tracking risk after it. My brain is not working. Tracking risk after risk, trying to get to relative safety. Yeah, for sure. Taking, not attack. Yeah. Keep taking risk after risk, trying to get to relative safety. There we go. I got it, I think. Yeah, and also I guess if the old god also life decks, you could that should help as well, because if they're out of you know, ammo, it's not going to be as scary. Granted, endlings in theory or endlings are supposed to continue to come out regardless of whether the old god is out of cards or not, but because endlings are reshuffled, but which is kind of nice now that I'm thinking about it, because like if the old god runs out of cards, it means the game will end at some point no matter what, right? It's not like it goes on forever. You can either play, you can play to either kill the old god or run the old god out of cards. Yeah, exactly. I mean, technically you'd still have to kill the old god, but at that point, if it's only drawing endlings, you should win. So, okay, all good stuff to think about. We'll have to decide on that. Yeah, the old god has had less cards than ever at this point, but that's because the proportions have been changed. So, I don't know. Should be interesting. Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to close out of here. I'm gonna show my face, because it's that time again. I might find someone to raid just for the funsies of it. Last guy was pretty cool. It's bald time. Although my hair's kind of growing right now. I need to shave. Oh, you can see my my hat red thing. I'll join raid for a couple of moments. Let's see if we can find someone real quick. Yeah, honestly, you don't even need to say. Honestly, you don't even need to do it at all. But I do appreciate you making me look at least slightly better than you know, some weirdo just raiding by myself. All right, we'll do the usual thing. TCG, probably not find anyone that we want to see, and then we'll try tabletop games. That's not English. I really wish there were more people creating ones, man. Yeah, you at least brought the Royal Guard along. I appreciate it. You are my right-hand man here. I hate this search system. It's like you hit enter and it doesn't add the thing that you typed in because you have to select an existing thing. Trying to see if there's... You want more people make card games? Your wish is granted at some point, if I'm bored enough. Well, I look forward to it. Yeah, all this is pretty boring. Not boring, but like, there's a lot of people, like... I don't want to, like, join an actual play role-playing game. Like, I feel like that feels, I don't know. It's just... I don't understand watching actual play stuff, especially jumping in randomly to a thing, and if they don't have any sort of, like, things for doing it, right? Like you need to have some sort of interactivity for role-playing games for it to be interesting. Am I even on? Yeah, there's just nothing going on. All right, one last check. We'll see if there's something in game development that we want to look at. Anything that looks vaguely interesting. And if we don't find anything, then we'll just join something random. This guy has a tag of visual ASMR. I don't know what that means. This guy is like someone who always does like TTRPG developer, but he's just like in his office chilling and doesn't like talk. I don't know if I want to know what visual ASMR is. Yeah, I think it's just visually pleasing things. Is that what we're looking at? I'm struggling here. What about art? I really need to find more people. I've been subscribing to the people as we like raid them. I guess there is one of the guys who's live, who is doing that like tabletop RPG thing. The guy who is like a VTuber guy. What's this? I don't know. This looks kind of just in his office, chilling, not doing anything. Yeah, I've seen him like multiple times. I feel like I think you have to follow him to talk to him too. You know what? Screw it. Let's do it. I don't think I saw the VTuber guy. Yeah, he's like a he looks like Davy Jones from whatever. He's got like, I don't know. We could do that. But let's try this. Let's try this dude. Because he's always live, and I'm always like, I don't know, I don't know, you know. Not that I'm saying like, not that it, what am I trying to say? I just, of course, now I don't see him. Oh, there he is. Here we go. Why not? He's just chilling in his office. I don't know if he, like, interacts that much or what, but why not? Office dude, RP time. Heck yeah, let's do it. I'm sure he's chill. Let's just do it. YOLO. Start raid. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I will be back on... Actually, I might not be back on Friday. Maybe I'll do an earlier stream on Friday. We'll see. It's not going to be my typical late one, though. So, all right, everyone. Thanks for joining. See you next time.